Well, hello and a very warm welcome back to the Andrew Eborn Show with me, Andrew Eborn, and my very special, very shy, very retiring guest.
Oh, yes.
How are you?
Bashful today.
How
I'm
are
not
you?
sleepy, sneezy and grumpy. I'm bashful today.
I'm good. It was a difficult day yesterday, wasn't it? Every Valentine's
Well,
Day.
it was a difficult day, and I waited until about 3 o'clock, and then desperation, I started ringing all the A's, then all the B's, then all the C's in my book. So I went through the whole lot, and I finished up with G.
Gee, what happened to Zachariah? Poor old Zachariah.
What, darling?
Zachariah was on the end of the line, desperate for a call from you.
I know, I never got to Zachariah, I'm afraid. No, but I got Barry Cryer. He was the C. I got Ben, and I got Ashley, of course, and Aya. Yes, I did quite well, really.
What did Barry have to say about the price of meat?
What, love?
What did Barry have to say about the price of meat?
Barry Cryer? He was very confused because I said something about, I mentioned you, Andrew. And he said, yes, Andrew, we were at school together. And I said, no, I don't think so. He said, you know who I mean. Andrew, you know Andrew. I said, yes, I know Andrew. Andrew Jackson, apparently it was. And I don't know Andrew Jackson at all, but I just won't let him go on about it, you know. It was so funny.
We could have been at school together. I mean, it's one of those sort of things.
You're actually being at school with Cryer. It's so funny.
Oh, glorious. Anyway, he's lovely, Barry, and he's always got a good word to say. And it is, you know, people forget that Valentine's Day can be a lovely day for people when they're in a couple, but in the current climate,
it's a bad
it's
day.
difficult.
And you did. I don't know what you did. You put me onto Zoom, and then
every day is Valentine's Day in my world. There's so much love to share. It's always a joy. It's always a good, and we do that. And we celebrate. And talk about celebrating. Every day we've been looking at the daily dose of Dorothy, and people love a daily dose of Dorothy. We've
daily dose of Dorothy. Yeah.
Dorothy to zillions, and I love.
Actually, I have to say that yesterday, I got myself all ready just in case, you know, because I don't usually bother. You can probably tell. I was all ready, so I had to do something, didn't I? You know, because I was left floundering.
You never flounder. You never. I don't believe it for a minute.
Yes,
and the
I did. I was very upset.
The great thing is, it gives you the wonderful opportunity to phone up all your chums. And you can, this is the great thing about it, is that people should make that phone call. You know what I say is, don't wait until tomorrow. Carpe diem. Talk about floundering.
I would do it anyway.
Get your carp. Anyway. It's got to be good.
So what happened yesterday? How did it happen, that?
Oh, I don't know. We hadn't planned anything yesterday. The great thing is we have a bank of these things. We have our daily dose of Dorothy. Whatever happens, isn't that the joy of television? You've frozen.
We don't plan things.
You've disappeared. You've frozen. All of a sudden, there we go. You're back now. Anyway, the great news is, I'm sure that lots of people appreciated their phone call from you. And you've got a wonderful bit from Dorothy today. You got a bit from Dorothy today about Bohemia. Tell me about this poem. What's it about?
Bohemia. This is a nice one. This is what she thinks about authors and actors and artists and such. That's what she's talking about.
Wonderful. Well, okay, it's over to you with a little bit of Dorothy.
All right.
Bohemia.
Okay. So here is a little poem called Bohemia by who is it by? Dorothy Parker. Yes. And she says, authors and actors and artists and such never know nothing and never know much. Sculptors and singers and those of their kidney tell their affairs from Seattle to Sydney. Playwrights and poets and such horses' necks start off from anywhere, end up at sex. Diarists, critics and similar row never say nothing and never say no. People who do things exceed my endurance. God, for a man that solicits insurance.
She's so glorious. I'll tell you what that reminds me.
of creative people.
We love it. I'll tell you what that reminds me of. When I was a little boy, all those years ago, when
you were a little boy.
I know, amazing. And I wasn't at school with Barry Cryer, but when I was that little boy, I did go to a school called Northgate House in Chichester. And I must have been about 6. And we had a wonderful headmistress called Mrs. Shoesmith. That's how we used to know her. Mrs. Shoesmith. And you used to get whipped and hit with a shoe, actually, if you didn't do your maths in time or you didn't do your homework. It was those sort of days. But one of the things that we had was elocution lessons.
Oh, my God.
So as a kid, and it reminds me, and to this day, I remember it's got the same rhythm about it, Bohemia with Dorothy Parker, as the poem that we used to have to do, which started like this. Greedy old mother guzzle down, plump old pig, no good at nothing, never gave a fig. And that was it.
Excellent. Yes. Did you write that?
No. No, I didn't. But that's what I had to this day. A few years on from my 6th birthday, when I was 6, A.A. Mill, when we were all 6. I still remember it because it used to be, we used to have to stand.
There's a wonderful one that I love that, I won't do it now, but sometime I will do it, from Winnie the Pooh.
Oh, we love Winnie the Pooh. We'll definitely have a Pooh corner later as well, because A.A. Mill used to live near where I was, down in East Wittering, so Bracklesham Bay. I was in Bracklesham Bay.
Thing about this one, if you can, you're going to be quiet for a minute.
No, no, I'm not going to be quiet.
The interesting thing about this poem is that we used to do it as a duet. It's a duet. You see, and people answering questions. It's very 3 cheers for Pooh, for who, for Pooh. And it's very funny. And we used to do it at any time in the moment. Suddenly somebody would say, start it, and then we'd all join in,
Oh, brilliant. Well, are you going to do it like a solo performance, though? I think that's what you should do. You should do your duet as a solo performance. Is that what you're planning?
What do you mean, doing a solo performance with you?
You said you always do it as a duet.
We should do it as a duet.
Oh, yes. Both of us? You mean you and me?
Yes, I will give you your role.
Oh, look at me having a role. I've never had a role. Good heavens. Oh, I look forward to that.
Start it. Oh, no, you didn't start it. No, I'd start it.
Okay.
I'd start it. And then
I'm looking over there on the shelves because we have every Winnie the Pooh that ever there was.
I know it by heart.
Oh, look at you.
You used to do it all the time.
Oh, fantastic. And what's it called? So everybody can look it up.
I suppose it's called 3 Cheers for Pooh.
3 cheers for Pooh, hip hip. I love it. We love it.
No
so who will be Pooh, who will be Tigger, and who will be the Eeyore?
No, we are talking about them. We're telling a little story.
Okay.
About something that's just happened.
Oh.
Story.
I love it. Well, I shall look forward to that in a future episode. But for now, thank you very much. And Barry and I will go and chat about...
It's going to be awful.
No, Barry and I are going to chat about our school days. But in the meantime...
I was just going to mention that I once gave you a chance to do a joke and you didn't do it. And I said, is anything worn under the kilt? Do you remember?
I did.
And you didn't know the answer.
Well, there's that old one about a couple of old quarter pounders, but I didn't talk about McDonald's, and I avoided that.
You said something quite. Instead of everything's in perfect working order is the answer. But you said something else. I thought, I know,
but it's a great line. I love it. This is what we should do with the old gang, because I know we normally come up with our own stuff. Spontaneity. I love the idea of spontaneity. I always put a copyright notice on the end of it or something like that. So Ronnie Corbett 1942 or something like that.
I know you do. And I haven't written to Miriam.
Oh yes, we're going to get her on. Did you like that episode? That was a bit raunchy.
No, we can't do that.
That was a little...
Honestly, because otherwise she'll turn up in every conversation you ever have with anybody.
But I'll tell you what, we've had some glorious guests. I'll tell you about this next time. But over the last week, it's been sensational. Every possible guest, they're all writing in their droves. They're all longing to come on and have a chat, which I love.
Right.
And the CNN interview I did, CNN.
Who else is coming?
1.1 million views on just one platform for my CNN interview. What do you think of that? 1.1 million.
To do.
It's a thrill. We love it. I know them all personally. We all went to school together. Barry and I and the 1.1 million. We were all at the same primary doing greedy old mother.
They went to school as well, I expect, yeah.
You
went to Jewish school, no doubt, yes.
Always good. Well, we do that in memory of Mrs. Shoesmith. What a delight that was. But for now, Aline has an apple. Thank you for joining me. Bye-bye. So thank you very much to Aline Waites for joining me. If you'd like to be a guest or you've got any opinions, or if you went to school with Barry and me, then write to me at guests at Octopus TV. That's guests at Octopus TV. Don't forget you can follow me at Andrew Eborn at Octopus TV. And don't forget to subscribe on all of the usual platforms. But for me, for now, thank you for joining me. See you next time. Bye.